What's the deal, my people? You know what it is, Don Tony Teflon. I'm back at you with another one, and this one is from season 3. The boy in white is evil. And we're going to talk about this boy in white. And I've told y'all from the jump, from the beginning, that the boy in white was evil. People don't want to believe it. Everyone want to think this is a nice little boy. But I'm trying to tell you that that's what it is. That's what's going on. We're going to discuss more about it right here in this show right here. I'm going to talk about it. Again, 1 second. I'll put the call line up in a second. I didn't have that up yet. I'll put that up in a second and everything else. But we're going to talk about the boy in white is evil. We'll talk about some other things if you want to talk about. Again, the call line will be open so you can call me up and then just say whatever you want to say to me and everything else and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people. We had E-Man up on here and the movie blog and my brothers, and they was like, they see no proof that the boy in white is evil. And from what we've seen, there is no direct evidence of this, right? There is no direct evidence that the boy in white is evil. None at all. But there is some type of proof. We look at it. You gotta look at it. You gotta really read between the lines here about everything. And if you do so, then you too will also know that the boy in white is evil as much as I do. Again, I tell you before, the boy in white is Victor. I still believe that also. Right, so maybe that makes you, hey, the boy in white is Victor. If he thinks that, then how can he thinks he's evil? He must not know what he's talking about. We'll go over it. We'll go over it. Let's say what up to some people who rocking with us right now. Mary Kent is in the Maycat is in the building, rocking with us. Kimberly is up in here, rocking with me right here. Luna is up in here, rocking with me. OW is up in here. Craig is up in here. The man in black is up in here. Yurts is in there. Why did Boyd send Tabitha out of town? Why did the boy send Tabitha out of town? Is he threatened by her? We're going to talk about it. We're going to get into all that in a little bit. Give me a second. Kimberly is in the building, rocking with us right now. She does the most, is up in here. Mika is in the building. I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Horror fan is up in this piece. Prime is up in here. My brother from another mother, Muhammad, is in this building. Whitney is in here. Pamela is in the building rocking with us right now. I guess she's out of Cambridge. I don't think Victor is aware he's the boy. No, he's not aware that he's the boy in white, but he definitely is the boy in white. All right. We'll say what up to some more people in a little bit. And everything else when we make sure you hit that thumbs up on your way in. All right. I know that once you get in here, you start talking everything else. It's a little bit you don't be thinking about the thumbs up and stuff like that, but hit the thumbs up on the way in and everything else. You know what I mean? And we're definitely I sell these shirts myself, Rose Jones. I'll put the link to in the description and get you one. You get yourself one. All right. Let's break it down. The boy in white. What have we known about the boy in white? And if anybody is in the chat, like another YouTuber or something like that, I don't know where my man Phil is at, man. I don't know where Phil is at. Phil's supposed to be here doing this shit with me. And they want to, say that I'm not saying what I'm doing, and not agreeing with what I'm saying. They're always welcome to call in or to jump on and see what's up. All right. What do we know about this boy in white? What do we know? I think right from the beginning, we see the first time he's seen by Victor, right? Victor sees him after the massacre. Boy in white is with the dogs and everything else. We see him again with Victor and Ethan. Jim's out there, doesn't see him, but he sees the dogs. Dogs seem to want to attack this dude and his wife, right? Dogs seem very protective of something, all right? And then we see after that, when we look at it, we see the boy in white. He's the one who can told Victor to go inside the tree, save Julie. Great job the boy in white is doing. It's a great job. Get them to save Julie. Gets Boyd and helps Sarah, sees him and helps him go in there. And then he pushes Tabitha out of the window. I mean, he didn't show him that much in that season. This really showed all that, right? That's a basic nutshell of what's going on. Now, remember, when I say these things, understand this is Don's theory. You may see him after somewhere else on Reddit. Check these dudes, man. Check these dudes, right? Make sure that they say the name. I hate when these YouTubers and these guys, not my friend YouTubers, these other YouTubers on there, they'd be like, oh, well, I heard a lot of people saying this. I heard a lot of people saying that. You heard it from me. You don't even want to mention the Don's name. I heard a lot of people say, ain't a lot of people say. I said it. I made it up, God damn it. So put some respect on my name. All right. All right, let's go through it. Right off the bat, Victor comes out when he first sees the boy in white after the massacre. All right, that's in there. That's the story that we're told. Now, it is presented to you that most likely it seems like Christopher killed these people. We hear Victor's mother tell him specifically, go hide from Christopher. Find the spot that Christopher can't find you. Right? That's what she says to him. Find the spot that Christopher can't find you to hide. Doesn't say it really to the sister. Says it to Victor. So from what we know here, from what we're hearing, Christopher wanted to kill Victor. Why would Christopher want to kill Victor? All right. Sarah gets the sign on her arm, kill the boy. She looks up, she sees a boy in Ethan. So she figures Ethan is the boy that she has to kill. So she's like, I got to kill Ethan. And that's what she attempts to do. But if the boy in white was the boy that she was supposed to kill and everyone can go home, and Victor is the boy in white, then Victor would have to die in order for the boy in white to die. All right? Now, well, thank you for the super sticker. I truly appreciate it. 100% thank you. That's very generous of you. I really appreciate it so much. Love. Thank you so much for that. I truly appreciate that. Now, again, we know that Victor's mom told hide from Christopher. So Christopher is the threat at this particular time. And everyone believes that Christopher has gone crazy. That Christopher's lost his mind. He's loco. He's not the same person, right? That's what people believe. Now, I just put out a video. You can go check out the video of why I think people thought Christopher was crazy. You go check that video out. It's out there right now. I just dropped it today. But again, if you are right now, I'm talking to everybody in the chat right now. If you see somebody in the street, never met this person before in your life, what would that person be doing? And I want you to answer in the chat. What would that person be doing to make you think that person is crazy? You're just walking down the block. There's some person out there right now. And what would that person have to be doing to make you think that person is crazy? What would it be? What would be the number one thing that person could do if you've seen a stranger on the block walking down? What's the number one thing a person could do to make you think that person's crazy? And thank you for the super chat. Did you see the list of episodes in the descriptions? Yes. Without a shadow of a doubt, I did. I was the first one, I think, who did a live stream on it. And I contacted a bunch of YouTubers, let them know that it was up there so they could do streams on it also. But we'll talk some more about that today, I promise. All right. So people are saying eating his poop. Well, I guess, but I've never seen someone do that ever. So, I mean, that would do it. Right? But what would it be? Let's be realistic. You know, when you're really going to see someone walking down the block eating their poop. Nonfiction says talking to themselves. Right? Talking to themselves. Mika says talking to themselves. Usually that's what it is. When you see somebody that's crazy outside and you think that they're crazy, right? Harry says talking to themselves. They see it's talking to themselves, and you're like, "What the fuck this motherfucker talking to? He must be crazy, right?" You're talking to yourself. We use that as a perspective. We've seen Boyd talk to Father Cotter. If anyone walked in, he'd be talking to himself. We've seen Jade talking to himself, talking to dead Tom, right? That is what would make someone think they're crazy. Now, I told you a long time ago that I believe that Christopher is the one who had the ventriloquist dummy, right? So if anyone ever seen this dude, say he had a ventriloquist dummy, he makes it talk, it would be crazy if he talked to the dummy and thought the dummy was talking to him, right? And if anyone seen him doing that, you would say that this motherfucker crazy, right? He done lost his mind. He talking to the dummy, right? So for that reason, people could think he's crazy if he was got caught talking to this goddamn dummy. All of a sudden, people would think that this man is crazy, right? Again, Victor's mom told him to hide from Christopher, right? Christopher wanted to kill Victor. That's what we know. That's what we know. Hide somewhere Christopher can't find you. Him specifically. He's after Victor. Why is he after Victor? Why is he after? Now everyone thinks he's out to massacre everybody in the town. We don't know that. Victor then wakes up in that place after his sister runs away. All right? Sister runs away. He wakes up. We don't see the full aftermath because he says he finds his sister's mom's body in him. We're going to assume that he finds his mom's body in him later. But he wakes up in that bunker. He gets out the bunker, and the first thing he sees is all the people in town massacred. Everybody dead. He walks down, dogs is running around. And then he sees the boy in white for the first time. Remember, Victor's a little boy. He knows his mom told him to hide from Christopher. So Christopher's a threat. He wakes up. Everybody's dead in town. Why wouldn't he think Christopher is the one who did that? Little boy. That's what a typical little boy would think, right? Victor must have been Christopher. But how do we know it was Christopher for real? You have no proof of that. And you really think Christopher could have murdered all those people in there like that by himself single-handedly? How could he have pulled that off? But we do see the boy in white. We don't see Christopher. But we do see the boy in white walking around. Now, the boy in white has some type of powers. All right? If the boy in white has powers like those creatures, he could easily kill the whole town. And you may say, well, the boy in white, and I believe the boy in white is the one who massacred everybody. Right? It was him. It's the boy in white. All those dead people in the street were all done by the boy in white. He killed everybody. Killed them all. Now, Victor sees the boy in white, and we see the boy in white, and he got no stains on his clothes, no nothing. But we've seen these monsters before have no stains on their clothes and everything else, and their clothes not be dirty. We've seen that. So him right there saying that he's all in white and there's no blood, that means nothing. I mean, nothing. We've seen them already have no blood on their clothes or anything like that, right? We've seen that happen. So Victor comes out. He sees the massacre. Sees the boy in white. It's a little boy just like himself. He's got some dogs with him. Jumps on a merry-go-round. Starts spinning round and round. Why would Victor think the boy in white would do that? He wouldn't. All he knows is that Christopher was out to get his ass. And now everybody else is dead. So it's easy to see how Victor would confuse that and think that Christopher murdered everybody. Or that would get into his head. Now he's got this big fear of Christopher. He already was afraid of him. Now look at everyone's dead. After my mother told him to go hide from this dude. Everybody dead. So it was not Christopher who killed everybody in that town. It's the goddamn boy in white. Remember I said this? Remember the time I said this? Remember the date I said this? Because now I said this. You don't hear other people maybe other people may say this. But know who came up with this first. It's Don. All right. And I'm telling you, this is what it is. The boy in white is evil. He murdered everybody in that town. Christopher was trying to kill Victor the same way that Sarah was told to kill the boy and everybody gets to go home. Christopher figured it out. But Victor's mom being the mother, you don't want no one to kill your little baby. Of course not. Right? Under no circumstances. There has to be another way. There has to be something else going on here. It has to be, right? It's your child. I can't let wow. My child can't. It can't be him. It has to be something else. Must be another way for us to do this, right? Can't just give up my child like that. No mother would do that. She tells Victor to hide. She doesn't want a baby to get killed. Understandable. Very understandable. But in the end, when we look at everything else, Boy and White, what did he do? Told Sarah to get inside this tree. Go in the tree. Tell Boy to go in this tree. Boy goes in this tree. Winds up in a well where these monsters are there that had people shackled. Boy could have easily died. Sent Sarah back to town where the town was looking to kill Sarah. Easily she could have died. Put Victor inside the monster's pit down there. And when Victor is down inside that monster's pit, what happens? He sees the puppet down there, freaks him out, goes crazy over it. Right? Because he knows that that puppet is linked to Christopher, and Christopher was going to kill him. Scared him to death. Seeing the monsters and everything else, he never got scared about it. But when he seen that goddamn puppet, he got scared about that puppet. He could have easily died in there. Julie got put inside that wall. Someone in that wall with a boulder on her. She made it. She was safe. Everything worked out for her. Can't say anything about that. Can't say anything about it. But what I can say is that Martin did say, when you go through the tree, that's when they get you. That's when it happens. As soon as you go through the tree, that's when they get you. Tabitha went through the tree. She got. When Boyd and Sarah were getting close to the lighthouse, all of a sudden the storm appears, forcing them to go inside of the tree to prevent them from going to the lighthouse. Tabitha made it to the lighthouse. Just like Victor's mom almost did, right? Victor's mom almost made it to the lighthouse. Now, when you look at Victor's mom, she may have made it to the lighthouse, got out and came back and knew what she had to do. She wasn't holding what she needed to hold. So she came back and did it again. Could be a situation like that. Thank you for becoming a new member, P9X. Appreciate you, man. 100% appreciate you. So when we look at everything and you really look at it, got a little boy walking around in all white, in some magical forest, trying to do good. That was Boyd's exact words. And then Sarah said, I don't think he's a little boy. All right? So we got someone pretending to be a little boy. Why would someone pretend to be a little boy? To prey on other little kids? Because the little kid's going to be receptive to a young boy rather than a grown-ass man. Kid may get scared of a grown-ass man approaching him. But a little boy in white, who's going to be afraid of that? So yeah, grown-ass man masquerading as a little boy. Why would he be doing that if he had nothing to hide? Why would he be? Because he does have something to hide. Because the boy in white has to die for everybody to go home. And Victor's the boy in white, and that's why Martin wanted to kill Victor. That is the reason why. When you lay it all out and you lay it out like that, it's hard for me not to see exactly what's going on here. Now, this is some form of experiment. Say it is. That's going on. The boy in white could have been an experiment who got away. And they're trying to track his ass down. So they made this whole place he's stuck in. He can't get out. Trying to get out. He can't. They trapped him here purposely to kill him. They can't track him down. So when you look at it like that, that's the reason why Fromland could exist, right? Freedom March. He says, "Oh, where'd you get all that information?" I just rewatched the episodes. So on the episodes, I'm just showing you what's in the episodes and just repeating it in the way I see it, and that's it. Does Victor know he's the boy in white in your theory? No, Victor doesn't know he's the boy in white. Victor wouldn't do that. Yes, not Martin, not Martin. Christopher wanted to kill. He was asking, did Martin wanted to kill Victor, and Christopher wanted to kill Victor. Christopher did. I usually say I still can't grasp Victor being the boy in white. I just can't. It brings so many more questions to my already confused mind. Listen, but they showed Victor as a kid. They did show Victor as a kid. I don't know what the point being that they showed Victor as a kid. You gotta understand what we're dealing with here. We're not dealing with this regular time that we are dealing with. We're dealing with space time. We're dealing with particles that can exist at the same time. We've seen that in the show Constellation, right? I don't know if y'all watched Constellation with Henry and Hank and all that. Same person existing in the same time, but in two different parallel universes that were able to shift into each other's universe. Really good show. And listen, you ain't got to believe Victor's the boy in white. You don't have to. You can not believe any of it. That's all up to you. But in the end, take out Victor is the boy in white. Take it out. And ask yourself everything I just said about the boy in white. Just deal with that, about the boy in white being evil. Take a look at that. Just go through that. All right? Just use that. Go through that. About everything I said. And you let me know. Everything I said, what was wrong with that? Do I have any guests lined up for the show? I have seven of them that are lined up for the show. 7. So Victor and the boy in white are variants of each other. I'm sure you could say it like that if you wish, that they're variants of each other, split from the same thing. It definitely could be that, 100%. Golden Child says that's why Jade knows that Victor recognized that symbol. Could be. You got to understand, if everything that happened to Jade happened to Christopher, everything, it's just the same thing. The symbol drove. And another thing about that symbol, everyone thinks that symbol is evil and drove people crazy and this, that, and the other and everything else. There's no proof that symbol is actually evil. There's no proof of that. A symbol is a way to get his attention, right? There's no proof that symbol is evil at all. That's an evil symbol. It's trying to draw his attention to something. But Jay just can't figure out exactly what it's trying to draw his attention to. But that's what it's doing. So to say that the symbol itself is an evil symbol, I do not believe so. Look at everything that symbol has showed. Words popped up. And another thing about that symbol is always shown, there's always blood around when that symbol, always red, always blood or something like that, dealing with that symbol. People using that symbol itself may be evil, but the symbol being shown to Jade may not be the evil symbol that you think that it is, that's driving him crazy. Remember, Ethan says there are good symbols and there are bad symbols, right? That's what Ethan says. How do we know this is not a good symbol? There's a good possibility they are sacrificing the blood of children in here for some reason, performing some type of experiments, and they're trying to figure out exactly what's going on here. Right? It's a good chance that could be going on there. I mean, I just discussed that a little bit. And so, what about the blood dripping from the symbol, the book that Christopher holds up on one tree? Yeah, blood means what? It could be a sacrifice. It could be a sacrifice going on. But again, it draws your attention to it. It could be blood. That could be the symbol of, I would say, the boy in white symbol. It could be a stamp on him, like he has some type of like stamp on his neck or something to brand him with it, to have that symbol on him. It could be a company in the future, and that's their logo, who's conducting all these experiments. So when you look at all that, can you play the trailer? I have not seen it. Please play the trailer. You ever seen the trailer? All right, I'll play the trailer in a little bit. Why did the boy in white speak? Why did the boy in white speak to Tabitha in the tower? That was the only time he actually spoke. That's actually the only time we actually seen his mouth move and speak, right? Every other time that he spoke to Sarah in her conscious mind. He didn't move his lips, right? He didn't move his lips. He just spoke to her, but that's the time he actually spoke. Now, we know that somebody's been communicating with Sarah in the conscious mind, and he was able to do that too, all right? But so why did he do it? Probably because he couldn't speak in the conscious mind and everything else while he would do it. He probably had to speak to her that way. By the way, where I reside, we do not pronounce Elgin as Elgin, but as Elgan. Has anyone heard of Elgin? I haven't, but I'm in Canada. Elgin is what they say in the show. So I'm going by what they say in the show, and they call his name. They say Elgin, not Elgin. I mean, you can go into it. Maybe it's a Mexican movie. If you wanted to say that, like L in Mexican means the. So it could be the gin. If you wanted to go into a spiritual realm with it or something, it would be the gin. If you use the Spanish language on it. Mostly Mexicans, you do that and everything else, right? Could be that. I'm not here to tell you that it's not. I'm just telling you what I feel about this whole situation. We got field issues, guy. He's in the building. He's in the back. He'll be here and everything. He's trying to say like Arabic. Know about Arabic. I just know but Mexicans, like El Diablo, or anyone. The everything else. What's going on, man? Do I have to put you? Oh, there you go. All right. You know, we could change these things to circles now and squares.
Oh, cool. I have the circles on my thing too, but it's neat. I think I just like the rectangles. They're
it takes enough space and everything else,
exactly,
and all that good stuff. So we've been talking about the boy in white being bad. You know, I'm trying to convince people here.
Yeah, I'm sort of as you like to call me out on, and you fairly call me out on liking to sit on the fence on things because ultimately I enjoy listening to all of you amazing theory crafters, but theory crafting is a new thing for me. I'm more of like a recap reactor, like just go crazy or watch what I do, like pick things apart afterwards. So I'm sort of like learning on the fly. I'll come up with my big theory, like Boyd's going to be ringing a bell at the beginning of the season, something stupid like that. but I definitely think there are elements, as I said the other night, there's elements of shady stuff he's done that could, depending on how it plays out, see whether he is evil or not. I think there's definitely, the jury is still out. I agree with what you were saying earlier, like what the other dudes were pointing out, that there's no hard evidence, but there's also no hard evidence that he's good. He's sort of floating in the middle. This is one of those places where I think me being in the middle actually helps my case. Tony, unfortunately, I can't really stay. I have to go to my I love you, cousin Emily, if you're watching this. I have to go to my goddamn cousin Emily's birthday party. So I'm pre-gaming with you. So
All right.
having a drink, and then I'll
Well,
jump
I
on.
appreciate you stopping by for a little bit that time that you can.
Yeah, I'll be on full on Wednesday. I was honestly, Tony, I was expecting you to be on tomorrow. I'm glad you're on right now, but I was expecting.
I was going to do it tomorrow, but then I said this basically in my video I dropped today, and if
Okay.
people would have caught it that I said it, and I was like, oh, let me make sure I say it properly, so someone else don't just listen and then
Yeah, I had to jump on, but,
it and then put it all together.
but I will be here for all of Wednesday night.
That is what it is. So yeah, I don't know how much you heard what I was saying, but what my evidence is this. This is what I'm saying. Now I'm saying that Victor's mom told him specifically to hide from Christopher. Go somewhere where Christopher can't find you. I believe Christopher cracked the code like Sarah to kill the boy and was going after Victor to kill Victor. Everyone thought he was crazy because at some point, because Jade, and we always see, if he's following the parallel of Jade, all right, Jade's had done everything. We've seen Jade talk to dead people. I think Christopher, and you look at it, the people who they talk to is always their best friend in the town. Jade's best friend at the time he talked to was Tom. That's who we talked to. You see Boyd talk to Father Koch. So if the mannequin, if the puppet is Christopher's best friend, I think that Christopher talked to the puppet. And I think that if people seen him talking to the puppet, that would make them think he's crazy because he's talking to the goddamn puppet and thinking the puppet's talking about them. And I'll tell you how I thought of this, Phil. I was watching goddamn Batman.
The original. Oh, yeah. The animated series?
Yes. And then I seen that one guy with the
ventriloquist.
With the goddamn puppet for the mobster.
What are you talking about, Tony? Oh yeah, Big Boy. No, it was something like that. Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. He's got the little machine gun and stuff.
I seen that, and I was like, this puppet looks like the one from the show. And I was like, look, this guy's talking to the puppet. If you have a puppet, I just think that eventually you can't, if you're showing it as much as you're showing it, that eventually this puppet got to talk. I mean, you don't just put a puppet in a horror show. I mean, even when you deal with Chucky or you deal with any type of situation or Jigsaw, and then puppets talk. That's what makes it scary to see a puppet talk.
Yeah.
So I figure they got to do that. It's something that they have no choice but to do that because that's just a thing. So when I was watching that, I was like, so what if this dude was talking to the puppet? People seen him doing that all of a sudden. Now they think he's crazy. Now he wants to kill Victor. So his mom's trying to hide Victor from him. All right. But in the end, all we see is that Victor as a child comes out and he sees all the dead bodies and he assumes that Christopher did it, but we have no proof Christopher did it. All we see after that is the boy in white. I don't think Christopher could have killed all those people like that by himself, ripped their chest open like that. I don't think it's possible. But Victor, in Victor's mind, why wouldn't he think a guy who's after get him, his mom told him to hide from, would be the person who actually did this massacre? And I think it was really the boy in white who did the massacre.
I mean, it would make sense where Victor's brain sort of had to reset after all that happened. And then we get into the Total Recall Quaid versus Hauser thing where Victor is not even lying. Like the Victor that we see now is truly being genuine in his lack of memories and all that sort of stuff. He just thinks he's this thing, and all of his memories, he has no memory of any of this situation. I think there is some credibility. I think the thing that you've mentioned a lot, and I think definitely holds water to how I believe things, is things are in some sort of a cycle here. There's always a Jade-like person, or things kind of go in twists, and it seems like the boy in white, and the boy in white being evil, to stick to this point of who's talked to the boy in white, who has heard messages about what to do to the boy in white. I think we both think that Sarah's whole kill the boy thing wasn't about Jon Snow, it wasn't about Ethan, it wasn't about Ollie. It was about the boy in white. Like, kill the boy in white, that's the ticket to get out. Whether it's the EU GUI guys or the aliens or whoever's communicating with, besides the monster side or besides the nightmare creature side, besides the boy in white side, someone is saying, to get us all out of here, we need to kill this boy. And if someone else has heard that situation too, it just makes me more wonder the question, Tony, who is saying that and what side is the true, like this question of good and evil? is either side one or the other? Is the boy evil, or is the people telling them to kill the boy evil? But there is definitely something like that going on. Someone is telling somebody in multiple timelines, in multiple situations, to kill this boy. And this boy has caused a lot of weird alternative havoc, as you mentioned, around him in some ways. And I guess that's the smoke, Tony. That's not, maybe there's not fire, but there's a lot of smoke around this kid.
Exactly. Mimi says the ventriloquist dummy is a puppet shaped like a small human, which is operated by a ventriloquist performer to focus the audience's attention away from the performer. I agree that's what it is, and that's that is the breakdown for what a ventriloquist dummy is. What a ventriloquist is, what? It's someone who throws his voice. A ventriloquist is what? Someone who is basically a con man, right? He's a magician of sorts. He's trying to convince you that this animated object is talking. Right? That's what he's trying. He's a con man, right? Trying to convince you that this thing is actually talking. And that's what he's doing. Now I believe that Christopher, he had that, and he was doing what he was doing was entertaining all the kids. And Victor was there, his sister was there, they were laughing, they were joking. This thing would say funny things to him. Ha ha ha. That's all good and dandy. But all of a sudden, if you see this guy sitting there, like, you know, like fucking like if you see someone sitting there like kind of like Wilson, right? And Castaway, and he's over here talking to Wilson.
Tony.
Wilson. Now, if you would have seen a mouth move on Wilson, like if they would have did that.
Tony, it's so funny that like where my mind went there when you said Wilson. Obviously, it makes more sense to do the volleyball. I went to Home Improvement for some reason with Wilson, the guy on the fence. Like that's why I did this with my microphone. But yes, Wilson, like not
like
Wilson.
If you see them there and you see Tom Hanks talking to this boy, you would think he's crazy. Like I said, Phil, the number one thing, if you're ever in the street, you're in the city, and it makes you think a person is crazy if someone talking to themselves, right?
Tony, I will go I heard you talking about this is when I tuned in. And everyone in the chat was saying the same thing. I will go a step further. I've been in situations, specifically when I'm in weird neighborhoods or weird situations, or even in like uptight organizations, like I'm Rodney Dangerfield in a movie, in any movie where he gets put into like a high class party. Sometimes to play crazy, and when I want to act crazy and keep people away from me, Tony, that's what I do is I go like this. You know, like talk to myself and stuff like that, and say voices to myself, because that's what you do. You talk to yourself, you mumble to yourself, you breathe in. That's exactly what I do to keep people away from me at parties. I'll talk to myself in the corner.
That's right, and that's it. So if people in that town, all of a sudden he was having the same thing that Jade is having, right? We know Jade's not crazy, but no one's ever caught Jade talking to himself. No one's ever caught Boy talking to himself, right? But if someone did catch this dude, and I'm saying it's the dummy he's talking to, because that's all we have linked to him. We don't know if he has another friend in there or anything. Then he's talking to this dummy, and you walk by, and he's having a full conversation with the dummy. It's not on his hand, it's sitting somewhere, and he's just talking to it. You know, whatever the dummy's name is and stuff, you start looking at this dude like, yo, this dude's losing his fucking mind.
Excuse me, Tony. Does Tony right? Yes, he is. He's right? Yes, he is. Tony's right. Okay, cool. Sorry.
Sorry. That would happen, right?
It got pretty creepy there for a second, right?
Yeah, right. You would think he was crazy, and that may make people think they were crazy. People thought Sarah was crazy, right? That was the whole town. Sarah's crazy. She's hearing voices. There's no voices to be heard. It's all in her head. She must be crazy. But we know for a fact that she is hearing voices, right? We know that that's happening to her. These things are affected, but the outside looking in, it's a different look. So Christopher might not have been as crazy as people think he really is. It's just what they see. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. So this goddamn puppet right here being done with it, you know, could be a situation where, you know, that they thought he was crazy. He really realized that I have to kill the boy, and the boy is Victor. And that makes him look even more crazy. It's like Sarah when she was trying to kill Ethan. Now he's a psychopath.
Yep. And
no one can stop him, and they can't get him. His mother's like, we got to hide my son. We got to do this and everything. I got to hide my son. I can't get doing everything else like that, right? So when you look at it like that, that's where it goes.
Do you think Elgin is being communicated with by these people as well? They part of the people, or is Elgin just in a different like dream? Like his connection is even different. It's somewhere in like a dreamscape kind of situation.
Anyone who gets seizures somehow is connected, is getting some type of vision, right, and stuff. And so he I do believe he did see the puppet too, right?
I'm trying to remember.
I think he did see the puppet too. I thought he did have a flash.
I think you might be right. I think he might have seen the puppet as well.
You know, you don't show that puppet. This is the bottom line, people. I'm gonna tell you about television shows and movies. You don't have a puppet sitting there screaming. And again, the same scream that came from the puppet is the exact same scream that came from the guy who was smashed with the boulder. And they're screaming to get this dude's attention. He's getting scared by it because it's a scream. But what if it's the first person that we see has got a mouthful of blood? He really can't talk.
Mm-hmm.
So probably the only thing that eligible that comes out of his mouth is a scream. If the puppet can't talk and it's the same exact scream, it could be that same person trying to communicate with him, but for some reason they can't talk, and only thing that comes out eligible is a scream. But they got something to say, but they can't say it. So it just comes out of the screen and it seems scary to them because someone's fucking screaming at you for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
Right? But it's the same scream. It's not a different scream that comes out that puppet. Same scream that comes out of the puppet is the one that comes out of the guy with the boulder. And that's just what it is and everything else. So again, I'm telling you, you don't put a puppet in a horror series.
Just don't put a puppet in a horror series. It's scary.
You know, because now you look at it like this. Let's go through it real quick. If he's talking to this puppet, right, and the puppet's talking to him, and someone's standing there, and the puppet's telling him, "You need to kill that boy. If you got to get out of here, boss, you got to kill him." He's like, "I don't want to kill him. I really don't want to kill him." And the puppet's like, "You got to kill him." Go, "Oh, all right, I'm gonna kill him." Now this dude's a psychopath. The puppet's telling him to kill somebody. This guy's psycho.
That's some Harvey Two-Face stuff. Like if half your body's telling you to do something, I don't want. I mean, there's been so many things in media. I think almost every television show or movie that has a ventriloquist in it that isn't just a straight comedy. At some point in time, the puppet comes alive and it talks to the guy, and the guy's crazy because the puppet's talking to him. I can't think of specific examples, but I can think of too many. Like too many are flashing in my brain. Like every time you see that, you know, so some character, Uncle Joey gets, I don't know, not Full House, but like, you know, some character A gets a puppet and it becomes creepy. You know, this person gets a puppet and it becomes creepy. It's always some creepy stuff that the puppet's doing. You don't put the puppet in the corner and someone doesn't use the puppet.
That's right.
The puppet is. The puppet is like Smiley in the advertisements for this year. Like the puppet seems to be front and center in a lot of the promotions.
In the advertisements is a big thing going on. I'm trying to tell you the puppet's going to play a major role. And I did it in my video. Go check out my video, and I tell you exactly what's going on with that puppet in the video. So go check that out. Now I'm gonna before we go, we'll still take any questions doing that. We're still gonna talk about it. You know what I mean? But I wanna do a counter thing to my man Terry Matthews' theory. I'm gonna do a counter theory to it because that's how that's my man. I'm gonna counter his theory.
So you're gonna go Loch Ness Monster because he goes Bigfoot?
No, it would be something like that. So you know, my man Terry,
metaphorically speaking,
he believes that there's an eclipse coming. That there's going to be an eclipse that's going to come, and people are going to get caught outside during the eclipse. And that's how they're going to get caught with these monsters. Now, me personally, I love the eclipse idea. It does sound good. But I think eclipse happens too quick. I don't think it's enough.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take it a bit further. And I'm going to say that the sun just don't come the fuck up.
Right. Just one day the sun just disappears.
Don't come up. It just stays dark the whole time. The sun doesn't fucking rise.
Tony, I'll go a step further. They're gonna play that Zeppelin song. If the sun refused to shine, I would still be loving you. Just as like on the jukebox, right when that happens, that damn song's gonna play it as a fuck you to everybody.
Yeah, I think that it's gonna be night, and they're gonna be waiting for the day, and the day is not gonna come. And that's when Donna says the game is rigged. that's when she's gonna say the game is fucking rigged because the sun's not rising anymore. Now it's night all the time.
And now it's not
Now
fair.
you can't go outside at all. And during no parts of the day, you can't grab up food, you can't do anything. They're just out there all the time. And now you're fucked over. Now what are you gonna do? So I think that's what it's going to be more than the eclipse. The Don Tony Teflon's theory here is going to be a long night.
Yeah, the long night.
The long night is going to come. That's what it is. Not going to be eclipse. It'll be the long night. You can tell Taryn I said that.
I mean, we've seen it in other media, just in the Alaska thing, where like, or the Forever Evening, how that's been played out. What the most recent season of True Detective, Insomnia, that movie, like a different kind of way it's played out, but that can be very intense. Just even the feeling of just constant darkness. Forget the fact that monsters are stalking you in the night. So the combination of between you and Taryn, like that idea of being stuck in darkness, I think is a great one, and I hope it's something that they take advantage of, because that would be really horrifying and a way of upping the game in a big way.
Yeah, because now you can't go outside at all. You can't harvest food. There's no nothing out here. You know what I mean? You can't do anything. Now you're just stuck inside all the time. But eventually you're gonna have to go out because you're gonna have to get stuff.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be waiting for you. So just like we see all of a sudden the seasons start to change. The seasons never changed before, right? And now all of a sudden we see the seasons start to change. I think that we can just go on and the sun never rises and it's just dark all the time. And now they got to deal with the fact that how are they going to make it work that it's dark the whole fucking time? And now they go out and then that's Don will say, listen, this fucking game is rigged. How the fuck how are we going to do this now?
Yeah,
at least we had a certain amount of time we could go outside and do it. Now we can't go outside at all. Now we're just stuck inside of the houses. That is a Don's theory, the long night theory, let's call it, to counter Taryn Matherew's eclipse theory.
I like it.
All right. You go back and tell him I said that. But that's what I think is going to happen. That the long night is going on there. Phil, did you see the episode titles?
I did. We talked about the episode titles. I saw that they left the.
No, they did. I mean, the descriptions.
I saw that they were up, but I didn't see it. And I heard you talking a little bit about it, but I was sick this week, and so I'm like on the couch listening. Like, great to see LMR, but I feel like crap. That was me this week, But so I didn't read them. I didn't really read into them, but I'll read them before Wednesday, so they're a little bit more fresh.
All right, I'll read them for you right now if you want.
Okay. No, let's do that, and then I'll take off. I gotta go to this stupid party. Maybe how long are you stream? Are you gonna stream for like the 2 hours?
Nah, 2 hours. I'll be done probably by 8 o'clock. I know people stream today at night. They got their typical.
Are you coming back for an after dark later?
You know, it depends how much of this Cosmopolitan, how many Cosmopolitans.
Hey, I have to go to a karaoke party. I'm trying to get myself drunk to go sing some Elvis and Frank Sinatra in front of some
from
random places. So there are episode descriptions of all the episodes?
Yes.
Oh, is it? So it must be spoilery.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Not you. Yeah. I would say so. Okay, some things that are spoilery.
Let's do this thing. You want me to sing something? I don't want to horrify any of the audiences here. I don't want to destroy. I bet I'm willing to bet if I start singing, we got 170 people. We'll be down to 150 in 5 seconds. So
I don't believe that at all.
I'm not going to do that
at all. We'll go through and we'll get your opinion on these things. All right.
We'll save something for the season. I have to organically write a From song at some point during the season. We'll do it. Stop calling my cousin's party stupid.
Let me see.
Oh no, I'll call her party stupid. She's gonna dress up like a unicorn and jump around the party. It's kind of stupid.
All right, let's episode 1 Shattered. I think it's called here, unless I'm looking at the right thing.
No, the first episode isn't the first episode. And Things Past or whatever.
No, they changed it. It's on Rotten Tomatoes. If you go to Rotten Tomatoes,
okay,
it's on that. It says Shattered. Boy feels the town slipping away from him as the weather grows colder and the residents get more desperate.
Okay.
That's what it says here. Episode 2 is When We Go.
Okay. That for some reason I thought When We Go was number 1, but
I think they changed it around. I think that first person didn't get it right. And this is the right thing. It says Boyd struggles to find a path forward on his as the town says farewell to one of their own.
Okay, so
Fatima health takes a turn from the worst. Tabitha finds help from an unlikely ally.
someone dies. Fatima's pregnancy starts going in the crapper, and we finally touch in with Tabitha.
Mm-hmm.
Craig, that's a great sandwich right there. You don't think I already do that? Like, come on, this is me like that, man.
That is that one. Episode 3 is Mousetrap. And it says Kenny leads a group into the forest in search of food. Donna and Ellis try to talk Boyd out of a dangerous plan.
Mm-hmm.
Tabitha makes a mind-bending discovery. Fatima questions the welfare of her unborn baby.
Whoa, there's a lot of stuff there. Okay, so Kenny leads a group. So who's going with Kenny into the woods? Randall, probably. It's Kenny and Randall's excellent adventure. You know,
Kenny, Randall, Jim. He says the group has got to be a bunch of people.
Well, Kenny has to lead Jim and Randall. That's not going good for Breaking Bad Kenny. So while he's away, is that when Kenny's mom's gonna pay?
I think it has to be that the second episode. She's dead.
Right, because Kenny's going to be away when it happens. So when it happens, back.
But I think that he goes away earlier than that, right? Why is it? He must go away. If he must leave in episode 1,
at the end of episode 1, maybe.
Maybe that's for the episode 1. He goes away, right? He leaves. We see him with Jim, so we'll say he leaves with Jim, right? Say he finds something out there, food. He can't carry all that shit back, right? 2 people can't carry all that shit back.
Plus, he's got to bring a couple of red shirts that are gonna die. There's got to be a couple of like townsfolk.
Exactly. So Boyd finds a path forward. Says the town says farewell to one of their own. It's got to be Mrs. Lou.
Yeah,
one of their own. It's got to be that. So she's dead. Episode 1, funeral.
Unless they throw Donna's husband into the box for cutting.
I don't think the town would say one of their own specifically.
not for that guy.
Not for him. No, I like him as a person. But
yeah, no, we're not talking about him. We're talking about his character. No,
I don't think it's important enough to do that and everything. No. So she dies episode 1. Kenny and them go out episode 1. They find some food. Can't carry it back. And then they come back out with a group of people to get this food.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would think it would be. Episode 4, there and back again.
But wait, one thing before we go to the Hobbit episode. The Boyd has something. Who's talking Boyd out of the shit again? In the last one, it says people are trying to talk Boyd out of something stupid.
Ellis. Did it say Ellis?
Yeah, Ellis and somebody else. I think it said. So
it says Donna and Ellis.
Donna and Ellis. That's an interesting pair to be talking Boyd out of. What could Boyd want to do in this situation that the 2 of them are trying to talk him out of? Well, let's speculate on that for a second. What crazy shit does Boyd want to do right there? Does Boyd want to like I don't even know. Like Boyd's gonna be like, I want to burn these motherfuckers down. Like, how crazy is Boyd gonna be in this moment?
Listen, if Miss Lou died, this could set off everything.
Yeah, he could be ready to go friggin' crazy Captain Caveman on this stuff and just destroy everything.
Yeah, he may, this would be a jump off part. Fuck this place.
Yeah,
let's go out.
He's close to that anyway. Like, let's burn the whole fucking thing down. Like, he's getting to that point anyway. So it's just interesting to think what could be so crazy that Ellis and Donna are trying to talk him out of, like the 2 strongest people to him. That the 2 people that could probably actually reach him are like, Boyd, you can't do this. Does he maybe want to sacrifice himself and say, they want to break me? Fine, take me. Like, I'm just going to give myself up. Maybe that will give you guys all a chance, or something. Like,
could it be that he goes for the set? We know he's in another episode, so we know.
Right, but he could be like, that
could be in his mind. Like, I'll just give myself up and everybody else stays safe. They could do it. He could be thinking that
something like that. I don't know. I'm just curious. I wanted to pause on that for a second and speculate on that. I really don't know, but I think that's going to be, Boyd often comes up with the right thought, but he can be emotional sometimes. So it's going to be interesting to see what Ellis and Donna, who tend to be more logical in some ways, are going to rope him back to try from going crazy, especially Ellis. I think, yeah.
Yeah, anytime Ellis has tried to talk him out of stuff is when he thought his life was gonna
Exactly. It's like if Ellis is actually stepping up, and I know their relationship is better now, but if Ellis is really getting involved, it's something serious. It's like Boyd sacrificing his life or something.
Yeah, it has to be something like that. There and Back Again is the next one.
A Hobbit's Tale by Bilbo Baggins.
Boyd is forced to make a tough decision when newcomers arrive in the town at nightfall.
Pause. So newcomers are coming. Something we asked about for a while. So we got new people coming. So if we're to believe the equilibrium theory, if that's part of it, some people need to die in those first couple of episodes for people to come in, right? Isn't there sort of a balance issue about
like a cap, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like no more than this. But I guess we don't know that for a fact. But it seems like when people die, more people come back. You know, there was the big killing at Colony House. The bus shows up with a whole bunch of group of more people coming in. It seems like there is some sort of back and forth with that. So
no one that and listen, I made this theory before these predictions came out, before this was out here. I made the video. I told you that Tabitha is coming back in the ambulance. And I see these other YouTubers, not the friends that were on my channel, on my show, that was what we did together, other motherfuckers come out there and say, you know, that there's a theory going around. A lot of people saying Tabitha is going to be in that ambulance. And you know it was me. And you don't want to give me credit for it. That's fine. But the bottom line is everyone knows I made this theory up. I said Tabitha is coming back in the ambulance. I gave the reasons why Tabitha is coming back in the ambulance. The ambulance is arriving at nightfall right there. And I believe she's going to be in that ambulance with the cop. Again, they only put officers inside the ambulances when there's a prisoner that needs to be questioned or needs to go to jail.
Yeah, they
handcuff. And I see someone say, oh, in some places they just have cops in there. No, they don't. There's no place where cops just are assigned to ride an ambulance. People ain't got that type of budget. There's no budget like that. There's no budget at all like that. With the cops, every ambulance that goes out, there's a cop in it. That's not true. There's cops that will go to the scene, but not just sitting in the ambulance station saying, oh, I'm the ambulance cop. There's none of that. That's not true. If a cop is in there, that means that someone had to be interrogated or some type of thing. Tabitha escaped the hospital, we say, right? It would have to be an escape from the hospital. If Tabitha escaped from a hospital, she's been missing for what, a year now?
Something like that.
The cops are going to want to talk to her about where the fuck is your family? And you just here? So there's no way around.
Tony, the FBI is going to want to talk to her. Exactly. Missing people, missing children. Like it's not just the cops that are going to want to talk to her at that point. Like,
and if they think she's crazy, right? And they think she's out of her mind, they're not going to put her in a cop car. They're going to put her in an ambulance. They're going to put her in an ambulance, transport her back to the hospital, cuff her up in there, and that's going to be it. And I told you exactly how it's going to. In the video, I told you exactly how it's going to. They're going to be driving in that fucking ambulance. She's going to start screaming some shit, and the fucking driver's going to be like, there's a tree.
I mean, to the point of like, I've never seen a cop in an ambulance either. I mean, I've seen my buddy who got arrested at a scene after crashing, and the cop didn't even ride. They handcuffed him in the ambulance to the gurney so he couldn't get the hell up. But then the cop got in his car and drove next to the ambulance to the hospital, then got out of the hospital and walked in the hospital room with him. But he didn't ride in the back of the ambulance with him. He just handcuffed him to the gurney in the back of the ambulance. So, I mean, for whatever it's worth, even in that situation, when the dude was getting arrested, when he got to the hospital, they didn't sit in the ambulance next to them. So I haven't really seen many cops in ambulances in that situation. I've seen cops around ambulances while the person's in there. And usually in that situation, they are handcuffed down. And if they're really dangerous, there'll be an officer in there. But for the most part, it's not. Even if someone's under investigation in that situation,
I mean, when you look at the title of the episode, There and Back Again, who else does that fit?
Like I said, Bilbo Baggins and Tabitha. That's it.
That's it. I mean, it really is just. I don't think it's up for debate. Me personally,
I think this is the most obvious one. It's a Tabitha.
Yeah, this is one theory that I am confident in.
The only other possible option, and play with me for a second here, is that it's a flashback story about some other character that Tabitha is going to meet that or someone's going to meet that has already been there and back and gone back again. Like we meet Eloise, or we meet somebody that has some sort of way of getting there and back. And maybe if Tabitha doesn't actually, the one that doesn't, she finds more information about how to get there and back again. So it may not be that episode, but it's hard for me to believe that we won't get some information about how we get there and back again.
But there's no other reason for that. Why would the ambulance be transporting Eloise?
Tony, I agree. I was trying to find any, but I'm agreeing. I tend to agree with your point here, but I'm saying like if we're looking for any other way it could mean that, I guess that's like the other,
So Glenn Carter says he thinks it'd be Eloise in the ambulance. Well, why would the ambulance have a cop transporting Eloise? Why would there be a cop in the ambulance transporting Eloise? It makes more sense that they're transporting Tabitha, someone who escaped the hospital already. Yeah. And that's just what it is. Next episode 5 is the light of day. Victor must face a painful reminder of his past. Julie looks for ways to cope with her trauma. Boyd struggles to keep the town safe as the residents begin to question his judgment.
Okay, so Boyd with
Tabitha tries to adjust to her new surroundings.
Okay, so Tabitha adjusts to her new surroundings could mean that she isn't back quite yet, and she's trying to adjust, or she's adjusting to being back in Fromville again and trying to adjust after the situation. Could mean either thing. Boyd decided not to do whatever his crazy plan was, or did he do his crazy plan, and that makes everyone question what's
wrong.
Right, what goes wrong? Yeah, like he does his plan, and everyone goes, "Oh, what the hell did Boyd just do? That was stupid." And now everyone's questioning his leadership in some ways, and that's what Ellis and Donna were trying to warn him. If you do this, everyone's going to question your leadership, and he does it anyway. And now everyone's questioning him. So there could be some cause and response here to get a little bit more clue of the narrative of the season here with Boyd, and maybe that's part of the way they're going to try to break him, Tony. They're going to break him by ruining the confidence that his people have in him, finding ways of fucking with him on a more mental level rather than a physical level as well with Boyd. And
it says Boyd has to make a choice. We see that the monster dangle the keys in front of him, right? And she says you can't save them all.
Oh, maybe he has to make a sadistic choice and people are blaming him for picking the wrong choice.
What if there's a bunch of people out there getting killed and you're going to stay here and kill these people? Or what else is there? If you're giving keys, that means you're going to drive away, right? Yep. So you either drive away or you stay the fuck here. And that could be the choice. Now, if there's 8 people outside getting killed and there's people in the ambulance, you can't save them all. You can either save these motherfuckers or you can save these motherfuckers. You can drive away and save them, or you can stay out here and try to save them.
I kind of love Etsy. Tony makes those t-shirts. He will be putting the links soon so you guys can get them. But those are escaping from Teflon TV from t-shirts, and you'll be able to buy them through Tony ASAP once the season starts. So make sure you keep an eye out for that stuff.
Yeah, 100%. Next episode 6, Fatima and Ellis make a big decision about her pregnancy. Boyd fears for the future of his family.
The pregnancy.
Tensions rise in the Matthews house. Randall opens up to Marielle about his fears.
Okay. So number one, Marielle and Randall last this long. Okay, that's important right there. This makes me think like Tabitha is back, and her and Jim are having some problems because they're at polar opposites of perspectives on how to handle the situation here. And the other two, I think, are pretty obvious in the sense of everything that Fatima and Ellis have to deal with, the pregnancy and her health. You mentioned earlier in a different episode, Fatima's health is suffering dealing with the pregnancy and having to go through all of this, and this is probably making a decision on whether they go through with it or they unfortunately
an abortion, right?
Right,
they're going to have an abortion.
What they do for it or not, and then Boyd worrying about the future of his family is directly involved with that. So this seems to be we know what's going to happen this episode. But what's interesting is this is the episode where we get, and I don't think he's this show, Tony, but forgive the reference here or the comparison. Is this where we're going to get our Randall Jamie Lannister in the bath speech, where we find out about where it's like, I saved the people in King's Landing? Like, are we getting Randall's like depth here? Is this Randall's like where he starts to turn the corner from being douchemonger to someone people are going to care about? Is that in this speech? Is this Randall's episode, Tony?
I don't know. I just think that they went through Those three went through the same thing. They seen the same thing.
Yeah, they've seen fire, they've seen rain.
Like they were all chained up to the same shit. They seen the same shit. So they need to talk about what they seen so we can know what the fuck they seen.
Fair. Yeah, I that's a good point. I didn't even think about that, about the shared situation. I was thinking more that the shared situation makes Randall open up to her about something else that happened in his past, some like horrible thing that he did. But you're probably right that it's
well, we do see him in the trailer like holding his stomach on the floor, like at night.
Yeah. Like night sweats and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, he's outside in the darkness, and at night you see him like fall on the floor.
Like I've said before, I think somehow Randall accidentally survives and much longer than he should.
Episode 7 is titled "These Fragile Things."
Humans.
The details is no, that's not it. What are they doing? The season now. Why do you gotta fuck with me for? You know. I'm pressing this thing like this.
I finally can get this joke. Glenn Carter says Randall saw the Australian dancers from the Olympics.
Oh, that was the worst.
Yeah, you told me about that. I had to check it out. The first time you said that, I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, but now I've seen it. Like, that was great, funny, Tony. You're funny.
She did it so bad that they canceled that from the Olympics permanently now. She ruined breakdancing in the Olympics. It got rid of it altogether.
She ruined it for she was so bad she ruined it for everybody else.
All right, These Fragile Lives, it says the edges begin to fray as concern about Fatima's pregnancy.
Walda fray? No, sorry.
Jade follows a clue trail into the forest.
Finally,
Julie and Randall seek a bit of normalcy. So you got Randall talking to Marielle,
and then Julie. Okay, so
Julie.
Yeah, that backs up your point there of like of the fact that it's Randall's trying to seek understanding about the shit that happened, so he's going to the other people that faced it.
Yeah, that's got to be what it is, because he's going to both of them, one episode after the other.
And what was that? Could you read the beginning of this part again, if you will?
Edges begin to fray as concerns about Fatima's pregnancy.
Okay, so this is the part of the season that is going to just be directly about what the hell is going to happen with the Freddy Krueger baby.
Every episode has something to do with this fucking baby.
Yeah, this is the impending doom.
Baby is the tie to every fucking episode.
Yeah,
every episode something's going on with this fucking pregnancy. So is she got a fucking alien in her ass?
I think there might be an alien in the ass, Tony.
There might be an alien in the
Hello, my name is Alien. I am from Melmac. My name is Elf, and I am in Fatima's ass. I think we're on to something, Tony. I have spent 10 days in Fatima's ass, and I will be giving birth on Tuesday.
Listen, let me explain something before I go on with these motherfuckers real quick, Phil.
Yes,
about
Tony.
These people in Fromville. All right. Look at these, everyone I love the cast. I'm not talking about the cast, but honestly, they're a bunch, and I love the cast. Please don't take this seriously, cast. I'm just talking about the actors in the cast, not you people personally.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of cornballs in this motherfucker, Phil. It seems that they keep picking except for Boyd. Everybody else seems to be a non-fighter cornball. Like everyone. I mean, Randall's the only guy who came in there with a little chutzpah after
Jim
that.
A little bit, but it's stupid, Jim.
Yeah, Jim's not. The cornballs. Like where are the Crips and the Bloods? Why ain't you bring no Crips and Bloods in there? Because if you bring Crips and Bloods in there, they're going to go to war, right? They're going to start fighting. Like, we got to get this shit going. Where are the hillbillies? Bring some hillbillies in this motherfucker. Because if you bring a hillbilly in there, you know what the hillbilly's going to do. They may break out a rope, a lasso, and be like, go get that motherfucker, Jebediah. Woo, you riding him now, boy. Like, the hillbillies ain't fucking around. Now, those are the people you don't want to, you don't see no hillbillies. Bring where the hillbillies at. The hillbillies may like, oh, milkman, you want to squeal? We gonna make you squeal, boy. You're gonna squeal like a pig for us.
It's like bringing the survivors onto the
booty.
Tony, it's like bringing the survivor characters or survivor players onto that show, The Traitors. It's like when Sari was there, it's like, no, Sari is the friggin', she's gonna dominate all of them. I mean, you know, like whatever. Spoiler alert for the first season of The Traitors. Like, you know, like it's like when sometimes you get people that come in there and they rule the game, you know, they're above it. You know, they just, you know, but they did none of those people in there except for Boyd. Abby was kind of like that too, and you saw what they did with Abby. You know, it's only Boyd. I mean, and then you get a bunch of people that, yeah, Jade is strong, but Jade is also hamstrung by his drug use and his stoniness and his temper, you know, and then Jim is strong, but Jim's an idiot. You know, like it's, you know,
no, a hillbilly will jump off the roof or one of those backs and be like, "Run, baby, where he got his ass? We got hillbilly gonna try to trap you. Like a hillbilly gonna capture your ass. They about that life.
Tony,
like,
you sure do got a pretty mouth, Tony.
Yep. Yeah, you get those guys in there that was in Pulp Fiction,
Zed's,
and that turned those motherfuckers to the gimp.
Yeah, they'll bring the gimp up. Wait till Zed gets here, Tony. You don't want to wait till fucking Zed gets home.
And Zeb gets here, boy. That'll be it. They'll have them motherfuckers like the gimp up in the cage and shit with a ball walking around like.
And then you don't have any Marcellus Wallace like to go medieval on some motherfuckers' asses here. You don't have any of that either, you know?
No, you don't have the opposite, the gangster dudes. You don't have those people. You just have a bunch of free loving 70s people that seems like they just want to just drink and shit and get high and all that. Yeah. We're the hillbilly. I want the hillbillies and the Crips and the Bloods in this motherfucker. That's what we need, Phil. Goddamn it!
I want Rodney Dangerfield to show up and start.
Not no jokes. Black guy. Only black guy comes in here. This motherfucker want to go and shake hands with the monster. Why I gotta be the black guy go shake hands with the goddamn monster?
He's like, hey, you want to hang out?
How you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's up, dude?
That dude ain't from New York. He's from my way. You can't. If you come up around anybody around my way and put your hand out to shake it, they smack the shit out of you. What the fuck you want to shake my hand for? What the fuck you doing? That dude definitely wasn't from New York.
I want to see back to school Rodney Dangerfield come, hey, what these fucking monsters do? That's what I want to see get off that damn bus, Tony.
These motherfuckers. All right. So, again, the edges begin to fray as concern about Fatima's pregnancy deepens. Who is concerned? Is it the place in general or just Ellis and the close people?
And Christy.
Are people seeing stuff? Have people seen things that something's going on? They've seen it themselves. What do we think that means?
I mean, that's a good question of how much is this? I mean, we're in the small town where everything is sort of high schooly in the sense of like everyone talks about everybody. And if this pregnancy, if her health is crazy, if she's screaming a lot, if there's a lot of intensity going through and it goes quickly, everyone's going to be talking about it. And I don't trust that Marielle isn't a gift to gab and she's talking to Christy and Christy's telling everyone and it all spreads out through town. So I think the fact that as far as we know, this is our first pregnancy that we've had here. I think everyone is going to be on edge. And if this seems like it's happening quicker and Fatima's going through a tough time, as it seems like we've seen from some of the other descriptions leading up to this point, I think there's going to be a lot of emotional tension built around everybody in town. And everyone's going to be invested in what's about to happen here, even from a positive standpoint, even if we go like the positive end. And Lost played with this as well. I know these aren't the same shows. Some people get very mad at the Lost comparison. Some people like it. But I mean, Lost in the first season had a pregnant girl. It was connected to the island in some ways and was connected to the others and stuff that they were doing, and pregnancies were tough there. And that was a big thing in later parts of Lost where people could not get pregnant on the island. So when people did, it was a big deal. So, I mean, there have been things like that played with before in universes, not like this, but in other things like this. So, Tony, I do think there's going to be a lot of intensity built with everyone invested in what's going to be happening to them. Even if it was just a good thing, everyone would be invested in the positivity. Everyone that lives in colony houses, that's everyone's baby, you know, like that. There's going to be that kind of vibe.
It says Jade follows a clue trail into the forest.
So now, more Jade visions.
It says a clue trail into the forest. He's following a trail into the forest.
Like the white rabbit is gonna
it could be. Is this chick? We've seen her get. I believe it's her with the bear trapper on her foot. Is Tony she captured by someone and he's following a trail to go hunt her down?
I think since a lot of the stuff is gone, a lot of the food's gone, a lot of the supplies are gone. Someone is going to leave a trail of weed and mushrooms and acid for Jade to follow. Someone's just going to like leave little like bits of drugs, and he's going to like, and that's going to be the trail he follows. That's my theory. Someone's going to fuck with Jade by giving him a trail of drugs to lead out of town.
Jade is going to, it sounds good. Episode 8, and it's the last one we get a description of. The last 2, they give us the same descriptions because they're trying to hide it.
Oh, the
9 and 10. It's a 2-parter, and they're trying.
Is that the religious title? What am I blanking
yes,
on?
the religious title. So we get no description for those 2.
Not confrontation. That's the Bob Marley album. What was it?
Revelations.
Thank you.
Part 1 and 2.
Sorry, I got Bob Marley on my mind, I guess. Tony.
That's nothing wrong with that. This one is called Thresholds, episode 8. Accusations start flying and truths come to light in the aftermath of a tragedy.
So Fatima dies, the baby dies, something horrible
everything
happens.
else was led up to Fatima, every episode, and then it comes to this. And it said in the episode before, people start questioning, right? So now accusations start flying, so people are accusing people of something, and truths come to light in the aftermath of a tragedy. Someone is tragedy. Tragedy to me is someone's dead.
Does Sarah cause someone else to die again?
I mean, if it's dealing with Fatima,
right? I'm just thinking in general.
He dies during childbirth, and that baby comes out as a fucking goon
and kills somebody else or something.
Something.
And everyone told them to get rid of the like some sure it could be the mole coming out. Someone
it could be the mole. It could be the mole that gets exposed at this particular time.
Yeah. I'm very evil. I'm evil. I am the devil. No. So if we go to our next episode, Revelations Part 1 and Part 2, and that ends our season, which makes more sense that our season would end, because I think in the other descriptions those were like episodes 8 and 9 or something like that. I'm not sure, but so what do we think is going to happen at the finale? Then I probably should jump off here, but so what do we think is going to happen?
Let me read to you the last part of episode 8. It says Victor struggles to recover long buried memories about the town's past.
Finally,
Julie and Ethan search for answers about the mysterious ruins in the woods.
Okay, so Julie and Ethan have an adventure. Finally, we get something Ethan to do. Maybe we'll see speaking of the title of this video, maybe we'll see the boy in white in that particular storyline. And then finally, Victor seems to be digging deep to try to help some perspective. So could the final episode be Revelations have to do with Victor finally remembering his past a little bit?
Could be that would seem to me with the Revelations would be. I think that people want to think that it's church oriented, but the Revelations is Victor's revelations about what's going on.
Right, exactly. What's going to go on in that particular situation. Interesting. Oh, thank you. There's no such thing as being late. There is when one of my cousins is leaving early and he's like, you gotta get down here before people. So notice I'm saying this not on my channel because I'm like, they're not gonna watch this. All right. I'll talk this shit about my family here, you know. I love them all. They haven't seen me.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. You know, people saying this stuff and everything else, but it's great.
I'm gonna show up there. I'm gonna have your podcast on in the background. Hey Phil, we just heard you talking shit about my stupid unicorn party. What the hell?
What were you doing, Phil? I was getting ready to come here. Hey, we just subscribed to a new channel. It's called Teflon TV. You ever hear of it, Phil? You ever hear that?
Stupid unicorn, my ass, Phil. Get the fuck out. You know, like, fuck you. Anyways, but yeah. So how do you think? What is our finale? Like, we've heard all these descriptions. From all those descriptions, Tony, how do you think the finale plays out? Like, what would you, if you could sketch out a description of what you think the finale is? It's a good experiment. Just a couple of sentences. What would your description of what the finale? Shit hits the fan when Victor finally opens up, and Boyd
opens up, and then all of a sudden these aliens come from the ground. They grab up the body parts from the inside, then beam back up. That would be a great thing for me.
So what do you think is our big, from everything we've heard here, do you have any more speculation of what is our big finale?
It depends how many seasons we got.
5. I'm going with the 5.
If you got 5, then it's different. If you got, this is the next season and the last season is 4, then it's going to be the end game. They're going to expose exactly what's going on there and everything else. It's going to be the end game.
Bo,
And
I'm a cult leader. Get it right, Bo. Cult leader.
so but if it's not the end game, then he's got to expose, I think, the whole thing that the boy in white killed the whole town will be exposed.
Yeah. Okay. So you think the boy in white's true nature will be exposed by the end of the season?
Yes, I think the boy in white will that would be the end of the boy in white's be a thing of
And
being good.
and I think similar, if you end up being correct about the boy in white being the architect, the Invictor boy in
Well,
white, whatever.
someone pretending to be the boy in white is the architect.
Right. I think my speculation or my thing would be a little vaguer because I have less balls. Would be that that somehow we find out who the architect is. The end reveal of this season is revealing what the controlling force of all of this is. A teaser for it. That
You
gets
might just see him. It may not do anything. You just might see his face.
him. Exactly. You might see a face.
And then that's when it ends.
Similar to, again, a Lost thing, like we might see the hatch but not meet Desmond yet. Like we might just see the moment of the character, see where he is, see the light in the top of the lighthouse light up right at an odd moment or something. I know that's cheesy, not that, but you know what I mean, like some sort of moment where the idea that something else is in control of everything winks at the camera a little bit, Tony. I think we'll get that before the end of the season. Whether that's the boy in white, I'm 50% there, but it could very well be, or that kind of thing. We are running our mouths, because that's what I do.
I mean, what am I supposed to do? Just sit here in silence?
Let's try 30 seconds of not running our mouths, Tony. See how it goes. Wait.
I mean,
we can't do it. We can't do it. What are we supposed to do?
Hey, you're at a talk show and you're talking.
Don't talk.
Why are you talking?
Okay, fine. I'm sorry.
You're making jokes at a comedy guy.
Don't do it.
Why are you making jokes?
I'm playing drums at a live.
Why would you do such a thing? Hey, Tony, you're at a petting zoo and you're petting the animals.
I'm playing drums at a live music show. I should not do that.
Why would you do that?
The fuck.
I don't understand.
Okay, fine. An online talk show. Is that better, Jackie?
Pet these animals at a petting zoo. What are you doing?
Oh my goodness. I think Tony is behind the whole thing. I think you're right.
I am behind the whole goddamn thing.
Tony's the color. And because of that,
someone asked about I sell these shirts. I'll sell them. I'll put the link to the page up so y'all could go grab. I got a whole bunch of different ones and stuff like that. And go be able to go. I'll put it in the description, the link to the page you can buy it.
Tony, I hate to do this to you, but I do need to jump off. I will be back on Wednesday to jump on with you, but I'm glad I was able to pop on for an hour here.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's this is my home too. So thank you for having me, my friend.
No doubt. I have a good time, brother. Be safe.
Later. Peace.
All right, Phil the Issues guys out of here. It's whoosh, you put me on blast like that. All right, I'm going to get the phone lines open now. All right, let's put the phone lines open. Phone lines. I gotta open the phone lines. How do we do this? Yeah, that's how you do it. You put this, you click that, click that. Nope, the wrong one. Click that, click that. Put that there. That is that. Put this here. Put this here. All right, I'll be right back. I'm going to refill my drink. Phone lines is open when I come back. I'll be back 2 seconds. Give me 2 and 2. That's Chuck Willard. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. I'm sitting down right now. All right, it's not as easy as going just to go get a beer. Like it usually is. I have to have a drink. I told them I have a machine that makes mixed drinks. I'm drinking mixed drinks tonight. Not drinking beer. All right, I'm back. Phone line is open. If you want to call me in, call me in. If you want to call me up, right? Phone line is open. We'll roll for about 40 more minutes or so. We'll see what it is. Let me put the number up here on the bottom so you can actually see it. That's not it. That's Phil's. This is it right here. There you go. You can call me. The phone line is open. 518-290-0848 is the number to call. You can give your opinions on everything else and all that good stuff like that. Let me know what's going on. I don't drink White Claw, brother. I know that's not the way the dime rolls, all right, and everything else. What else? All the people saying about the trees on House of the Dragon. What people are saying about? I'm not talking House of the Dragon tonight. We wish I could, but we're talking about tonight. A call for a good time. 518-290-0848. Please call. I would like to hear from you and anything else. Any theories you got? Anything you want to push back on? Anything I said and all that good stuff. Definitely let me know what's going on. I truly appreciate it. The trees, we were going back and looking for comments. See that what people are saying. Oh, what is the name of the girl who used to sing? See, that's Carla Way. Yeah, it should be back. I guarantee you she'll be back. She's always here. It should be every Wednesday and stuff, but that's Carla Way. You can subscribe to a YouTube channel, Carla Way, if you ever want to listen to more of her stuff and everything. She's a phenomenal talent, and I suggest that you do subscribe to a channel and stuff. Phenomenal talent. She's very good at what she does. Extremely good at that. So, Tony, that was for another person in the chat. Don't know what that means. Let's see. Let me know if someone calls, because I know sometimes that numbers they be saying don't be going through and everything else. For the first 5 minutes are free. After that, it's $99.99 each minute. God damn. Wish I could get paid like that. I keep people on all the time. $9.99 a minute. Jesus Christ. You're getting paid up in this piece right here. Here we go. Let's see. Do they have heat in the homes? If they do, why would they? If they do, why would you want to leave Frontland? No bills. I want to leave just because no one wants to stay in the same thing. That's like saying that they got heat in the prison. Why would you want to leave jail? You got free food here. You got all these meals. Wow, you got free exercise room. You got all this stuff. You got library, got college, got everything in prison. Doesn't mean you want to stay. I wouldn't want to stay up in there and everything else. So, the number's not going through. All right, so let me see. Let me refresh it. All right, I refreshed it so someone can give it a shot, give it a call just to let me know if it's working or not. Oh, let me see. The number's not going through. It said no, that should be good because I was able to hear Phil. So that should be good. This is
call from.
I got the magnanimous.
Hey, P, what's going on?
What up?
What up?
I'm good. Just taking a nice Saturday evening stroll. You know what I mean? It's Independence Day today, so we have fireworks all over the place, and you know, it's a nice family day. I did a lot of sleeping. So I caught myself up on all your videos, all your from videos.
Okay.
But that got me late to the live stream. So I have no clue what the fuck y'all niggas talk about. And I don't need to really, because I know when you and Phil get together, you guys go down some nice deep rabbit holes, and I'm sure everybody had a good time. So I'm just going to say good night and wish you guys a happy, holy Saturday, August the 31st, our Independence Day. You know what I mean? The Queen is no longer the power on the land. The people are the power of the land now, and we decided that we want to do fireworks and drive around in big cars and and throw flamethrowers out the side of the window, which is legitimately what the people in front of me are doing right now. So you guys have a good night, Tony. Keep it up, keep on keeping on. We have to have a season 2 House of the Dragons sum up fucking episode though. We have to, because
I'll do
I have some
I
thoughts.
did one, but I could do it again.
You did one, but it was like it was an episode wrap up of like the last episode. We need to do a wrap up the entire season 2 and like what was a hit and what was a miss. I loved it. Didn't love the last episode, especially the last 5 minutes or so. I thought I would have loved to see it end with Rhaenyra sitting on the Iron Throne. Like that would have made everything else would have been, all my other problems would have been deaded if they ended it like that. But they didn't.
I don't,
so, whatever.
I can't rant on House of the Dragon. This is from stream. We can't talk about it.
Yeah, we can't do it. This is a from stream. So like, everybody have a good night. Y'all be safe. Be wise and condomize unless you want some children. And I'll be back on your next stream whenever that is, Tony.
All right, my brother.
You like to do these pop-up streams that we have to catch you. We have to catch you when we catch you. So I caught you tonight. Later.
All right, brother. Peace out. That's the one, the only, the great KP. I know people have been calling. I've seen them. This call right back, KP is just checked out, so the phone line is open. So please give a call. If you just called in, it was busy, call right back. I'll be here to take your call and everything else. We about it. So I'm just going to sit this right here and just wait for us. I just had 2 people call in, so I know as soon as I leave the screen, then they're gonna come back and call in. But yeah, call in right now. Everything is up and everything else. Look at that. That's right. KP less than 5. It's family night for KP. It's Independence Day over there, so you got a lot of time to talk and everything else and all that. So that's our boy right there and everything else. So you know what I'm saying. So that's what I'm about to call people back who just called in. I'm about to call you. Maybe I should do that. Like, yo, you just called me, man.
Call from
boy right there and everything else. So you know what I'm saying.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail,
All right,
press 2.
we'll try it, even though they didn't say their name. What's going on? Oh, they hung right. Listen, you see, people ain't ready for prime time. They're ready for prime time. Listen in the background. Again, if you call in and you listen in the background, you got to turn that all the way down. You got to, there's always a slight delay. You know what I mean? So you always got to turn that all the way down and stuff like that. People get nervous. They get gun shy. They're gun shy over here, calling in and stuff. Don't be gun shy. If you got things to say, don't be afraid to say it. You know what I mean? Just get out there and say it and everything else like that. I am my all right, here we go again. This is the same person. It is. And they hung up again. All right. So we got this one person who keeps calling and hanging up, calling and hanging up. I don't understand who this person is. I don't understand who it is. Hey, here we go again. Let's see if they do it again. It's the same person.
Call from.
They hung up again.
To accept, press 1.
What's going on?
Call from.
They hung up again.
To accept, press 1.
All right, we got to hang up on that person.
Call from. Nonfiction.
What's going on? You're rocking with the Don Tony Teflon.
Hi. I was trying to put what I had to say in the super chat, but it would have cost me $500.
Oh, you were gonna put it as a super chat, and now you decided to call in and say.
I wasn't paying $500 for a super chat, like 10, 20.
Why would you put $500 in a super chat?
I wasn't. I just typed it, and it was so much that. Anyway, so this is what I was trying to say. It's not a theory. It's just what I've come up with.
Of course.
So wormholes can only be made on quantum computers. And Jay's algorithm was made for quantum computers.
Mm-hmm.
So if people were getting like wormholed into some sort of Klein's bottle somewhere in a different wherever, and they are running some sort of experiment, and then the boy in white, who's Victor's avatar somehow from when he came in,
mm-hmm.
got loose messing it up, he messed up the algorithm, which made everybody else get stuck. So now that's why they need him to die so everyone can get out.
I agree with you. I think that, I mean, again, I agree. I've said that Victor gets to die, the boy in white needs to die. The algorithm stuff works. I do believe the wormhole theory. The son said that it's all wormholes. It's what I've said. So I agree with you in your non-theory, as you call it. It's not your theory, it's just your thoughts. I agree with everything you're saying. I could see it playing out that way 100%.
The only thing I can't work out from that is why the boy in white would be like if people got stuck in whatever Klein's bottle area, some other wherever dimension, and they were using avatars of those people trying experiments on how the boy in white got into that area.
Yeah, it was. I think
how they're both in the same place.
Yeah, well, what was that? There's a term for it, right? There's a term for it when the two molecules are they have this they're in the same place at the same time. I forgot that.
Oh yeah, the superposition.
Yeah,
no, I know what you're talking about because I watched Constellations. Right. So I was thinking like if they brought everybody in and they made avatars of them and was doing experiments on those, not doing actual people, and then was letting the people go, but Victor's avatar got loose somehow and messed it all up.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
I mean,
and now they're running experiments on the actual people because they can't do anything else because the boy in white is still stuck, messing up the whole algorithm.
Yeah, and they're trying to track him down, but they can't track him down, so they got to bring these people in there and everything else. And the boy in white could be controlling these monsters in the end to prevent these people from capturing them and keep killing them when they come through there.
That's true. And I was thinking maybe they got to kill the boy in white, not Victor. But how would you even kill the boy in white? I think that's why you got to kill Victor. I think if you kill Victor, he falls. Or push Victor through the lighthouse, right? Get him out of there.
I guess that could be one way to kill him, push him off a building and stuff. But I think it's, again, we didn't see the boy in white. I mean, the first thing that we've seen of the boy in white is from Victor's perspective. We don't know if anyone before him has seen him and everything else. Victor's the oldest person that we have anything going back from. So it could be, kill Victor, kill the boy in white. Again, as I said, I think that was what Christopher found out, and that's what Christopher was trying to do, to kill Victor, to get everybody out of there. And I think the boy in white massacred the whole town.
I don't know. That's just what I came up with. But now I'm thinking about it, it might not make sense because the boy in white first showed himself to Victor after everyone died, or did he show himself before that?
He didn't see. Well, he was in that bunker when he came out. Then Victor's seen him walking amongst the bodies.
But was that the first time?
That's the first time Victor's seen him.
Maybe it doesn't make sense then.
Well, if he killed, Victor is thinking that Christopher killed everybody because he knows Christopher wanted to kill him. But it really doesn't make sense that Christopher was able to kill all those people. But if the boy in white's got these powers, it would make more sense that the boy in white killed all these people, and Victor just seen him walking as a child and said, "Oh, this is another child," so he doesn't see him as any threat.
Right. All right. I don't know. That's all I got. I've been watching wormhole videos and all this other mess. So,
well, you're right. It is these faraway trees are wormholes. I guarantee you that.
No, yeah, it's science. It's science. So, yeah, but science is harder than magic.
That's right.
So there's that. You can't even. All right, I just wanted to call and tell you that not pay $500 for a super chat.
Well, I'm glad you did not pay $500 for the super chat. Jesus Christ! I'm glad you did not.
It was a lot.
It is a lot. There's no need for that. You 5 cents, $1 is fine. You don't have to do $500.
All right. You have a good night. Thank you.
All right. You too. Thanks for calling.
Yeah.
That was a great nonfiction. You see her in the chat all the time. Nonfiction's up in there and stuff. Shout out to the nonfiction for calling through and everything else. The boy in white grows up to become a Randall Flagg. I don't know who Randall Flagg is. This is the. It is. Let's try to play games.
Call from. To accept, press 1.
What's going on, man?
Hey, I'm just speaking on behalf of you, me, and Ellis. We the three light skinned. Okay? It's you, me, and Ellis.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
All right, man. I just want to say that we gonna survive. We gonna survive this whole thing. All 5 seasons. All right?
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on now. And you know, Fatima, she needs to eat something. Okay? Cause that booty ain't right. She gotta eat something. Come on now.
She ain't got no cornbread down there, no macaroni and cheese.
Well, okay. Well, you telling me the same thing I'm telling you. I'm gonna stop.
Eggs. She ain't got those booty building foods out there, man.
We speaking the same language. This the he.
Yeah.
This the he. Come on now. Come on now.
She ain't got those booty building foods out there, bro.
You know, what you call her mama? You know, low key. Low key. I'm not gonna say nothing, but low key, I know she's gonna die next season.
Okay.
I know she's gonna die next season, but you know, Mrs. Lou, low key will get it. All right, I'm just gonna say that.
Hey, listen,
I'm putting it out there.
That actress who plays Mrs. Lou is gorgeous. I mean, if you see her on my channel and you see her off the set, she's gorgeous. They definitely just glamour her down to make her look ordinary in this show, and it's hard to do that. But
have you tried to shoot the shot? I
listen, man. I'm gonna be honest with you right now, brother. I'm gonna be honest with you right now. All right. If she wasn't taken, I don't know if she's taking that, but if she's not taken, you know what I mean. I don't think I gotta trust you. The Don is the Don. I'm very confident.
What I'm telling you is,
I'm very confident.
If you don't do it,
bro. I'm
doing it
myself. I'm extremely confident in especially people in age range. You know what I'm saying? So that I have not tried to shoot my shot with her. No.
I mean, I'm saying if you don't try to shoot your shot, I'm trying to shoot. I'm Kevin. I'm the dude that opens the door for the Jasmine.
Okay.
I'm that guy.
All right. Listen, shoot the shot with it, man. Do your thing.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna let Jasmine come in and just eat my face.
All right. Yeah, if I had to pick through them all, Trudy would have been the one to get it.
Oh my God! Yes.
Yeah, Trudy would have got it. She would have.
Man, Trudy would have got it every way. I would have been her husband.
All right, man. Let me get up off here, man. You taking the show to a different place, bro.
All righty, go ahead. Man,
I appreciate you, man. Stay up, brother. That is he's. You see him in the chat. he trying to have an after dark show right now. God damn it. That's simple. That is. Hey, but listen, man. You see, this is what happens. Y'all over here, you say stuff about KP and everything else. Now y'all wishing KP be the next person, right? It was a great call, He's. I appreciate it. We need that. The fandom's about all that good stuff, right? Let's just say, will they fix and will they find out? Let's say, will they find out that Sarah actually murdered Toby? I don't know who that, how that benefits the story in the end. I think they know that she opened the door, right? So I think that's she's already got blamed for everything up in there.
Call from.
Yo, what I'm in Chicago.
To accept, press 1.
What's going on? You rocking with the Don Tony Teflon.
Hey, yo, what up, Tunes?
What's going
on? It's Chicago. Hey, man, I wanted to say a couple of things. I don't know if you know about the show, but one of the things that I wanted to say is there's 3 books that are written on the dates of the lighthouse. One of them is the narrative of Arthur Pym from Nantucket. The second one is the Ice Sphinx by Julie Verne, and the third one is The Mountain of Madness by Howard Lovecraft. Now, Edgar Allan Poe wrote the first one, stopped writing it. Julie continued it. When she stopped writing it, H.P. Lovecraft continued it to finish the whole series. Now, the story, if you don't know, is about a kid and his dog who jumps on his whale ship and ends up in like a cannibal land with a bunch of different natives. Now, when he gets there, he ends up getting lost and hiding, and then you never hear from him. Then they say they don't know what happened because there's 3 missing chapters of the book. In those 3 missing chapters, they show that the kid ended up being, it was a massacre, and he was saved by a dog. The dog led him to safety, just like the dog did to Victor, minus the boy in white. He ends up in a labyrinth underneath the caves, just like in the show, and sees the paintings that you see in the show. Same exact ones. He ends up escaping the island after dealing with cannibals, and he ends up getting sucked in by this mechanism because they're in the Arctic. And in the Antarctic, there's this like pool, magnetism that's pulling everything. And that's why I believe all the metal things that are in farmland have been pulled there by this magnetic thing. Now, he ends up dying, but you don't hear nothing about him.
All right, let me stop you real quick. So you're saying that there's some type of magnetic thing that's pulling human beings into Frontland?
No, I don't think it's pulling the human beings. I think it's just pulling all the metal items like the motel sign, the cars, maybe some of those things. I think that's how some of those things are getting there from other places, because there's this thing
a magnet. You're saying a magnet, but I
don't think it's a giant magnet. I think it's just some being or something out there that's pulling all types of metal. Because in the story, it shows you that they ripped the metal off the boat. He had a musket on, and the metal ended up pulling in a minute. He drowned to death. And this was on the way before Antarctica was even founded. But this takes place in Antarctica, in the Arctic Ocean, before they found out Antarctica. Antarctica wasn't discovered till the 1900s. So they didn't even know it existed in 1506. And that's the first book. But it continues off. And he ends up escaping the island, and he ends up ending up with like the pyramids with the black fingers, black teeth. And that was a different expedition where I'll put it in a nutshell, that they end up running into a ice sphinx in Antarctica and finding the body of Arthur Pym. And then it continues with the Mountains of Madness when H.P. Lovecraft takes it over with the Cthulhu mythos and the Elder Gods. And that book is about 3 university students that go on an expedition to Antarctica and end up running into the old ones and the Elder Gods that tell them where humanity actually came from. And they vowed to each other after going mad that they wouldn't tell nobody the story. So all 3 books are based on what's going on so far in the show.
All right. What's the name? People are asking, what's the name of these books again? So people can know.
Okay, the first book is by Edgar Allan Poe, called The Narrative of Arthur Pym from Nantucket.
Okay.
And that's the book that Kenny gave Chrissy to read.
Okay.
Okay. The second book is now it all takes place because that book Edgar Allan Poe never finished, so it's a continuation from the other 2 authors. So Julie Verne's book is called The Ice Sphinx.
All right. And
then the third one is H.P. Lovecraft's The Mountains of Madness.
Well, look, the bottom line, if they have that book in the show, and those dates are actually in the show also, then I would say there could be a connection to it all.
Yeah, they're on the light tower. At least those 4 books are the exact dates. 1931 was Lovecraft's. I want to say 1867 or whatever was Julie Verne's, I believe, and then they're up there. I can't remember off the top of my head, but those 3 books are on the lighthouse.
That's a great get, man. That's a great get, 100%. If those books, Kenny gives him one of the books, and all 3 dates that those books were published are on the lighthouse, that's a hell of a get, brother. Hell of a get.
Okay, and then another thing I want to thank you, I appreciate it. And another thing that I wanted to say is, I was talking about the Anunnaki and all that stuff. Remember a couple podcasts ago? H.P. Lovecraft's cosmic gods are based on those entities.
Okay.
Also, just to let you know. So there is a connection there, and I believe. Oh, another thing is in that area they believe that Antarctica is a gateway to inner Earth, which is Hollow Earth, Agartha, and they believe that from land is called the island called Antatola, which means the edge of the world, and there's supposed to be a portal or a gateway that combines both dimensions of Agartha and our reality.
That's what it is. I'm gonna do some research on that, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate the call. I will definitely do some research. Hit me up. You know what to hit me up and give me the titles of the books again, and I'll definitely do some research. And then if I come up with anything, I will credit you for the whole video.
Same thing goes to you.
All right, man. That's what's up. Peace out, my brother.
All right, you man. Appreciate
it. If you have the book that Kenny's given Julie and everything in there, and you have the dates of L3, all 4 of these books are listed on that lighthouse. How can it sounds like there's definitely something going on there. Yes, H.P. Lovecraft did hate black people, but that's a great call. That's a great get. That's something I've never heard that anybody say. And again, it works for me because we're all talking about aliens in the end. So I'm about that alien stuff. And I know a lot of people in here want it to be some type of magic. And I think that what they're going to do, I'm telling you how they're going to do. They're going to give you some hint of magic. They're going to give you something to make you go think that it's magic. I'm telling you. They're going to give you something. They're going to throw you a bone. You know what I mean? And then you, aha, it's magic. And in the end, it's not going to be. They're going to do it. That's how they do it. That's how they trick you. They're going to trick you, man. I'm telling you, until it's all said and done and everything else. But that was a great call. Definitely appreciate the call. I know someone said they wanted to call in. 518-290-0848 is the number. We're going to get off here in a little bit, so we'll take a couple of more calls, and then we'll be out of here and everything else. And I'll let y'all enjoy your Saturday night. So if anybody's in there and calling, now's the time. Before I get up out of here. Anyone else have any other questions, comments? Anybody want to put $500 in the super chat? We're here for it. Not if you don't mean to. No. I'll give you the money back if that was the case. Or something like that. Hit up. I'll give you back what YouTube gave me back because I wouldn't even get it all. You don't want nobody hurting themselves. Never go out your way to hurt yourself, man. Take care of your family, take care of yourself, and everything else. And if you got something, you can spare and all that, then we definitely are cool. We cool with that. You know what I'm saying? But never go out of your way at all. You know what I mean? Life is more important. This is just entertainment. That's all we're doing. We're here to entertain yourself. Don't hurt yourself. Diz Tops. I know he said he wanted to call in and everything else. I'm giving him a chance to, but it doesn't seem like he's doing it. And everything else. You know what I mean? Someone pay this guy. Someone should pay me, man. Tell MGM to pay me or something. Make me like their official podcast. Me and Phil, the official podcast we're from. They could pay us, man. MGM, man. Stop fronting on us, man. Put us on, man. We do a good job here. We'll get you everything, man. We'll get you those views, promise you. And it'll be goddamn entertainment. Without a shadow of a doubt. And I just had someone right now, I would show you right now, I'm not playing. Someone right now from the show just hit me up and saying that they would love to be on the after show. This got that during the thing. Just got that. I'm going to show you right now. I'm not going to show you right now, but I swear to you right here, they just hit me up personally. We got somebody else that's going to be on the show. Somebody else is going to be on there. So we'll save that as a surprise for you. Went on there for the after show. After show will be at 9 p.m. Not gonna tell you what it is. I would say it's a woman though. All right, that's all I'm gonna get. That's the only hint I'm gonna give you. All right. What do you want? Let's take this.
Call from. To accept,
This
press
is
1.
731.
To send a voicemail.
What's going on, man?
If you don't shut your light shit up and
Okay, I don't know what's going on there. You see, we gotta hang up on people. No, I'm quick. I got quick on the hang up. I have to get you. This guy hang up on people. People, what are they trying to do, man? I have no idea, man. See the life of the Don Tony Teflon. See what I put up with for you. You see what I do? I do not have. You have another show? You mean another show? Like another what? Like cover other shows, or I have another show coming up today? Not tonight. Not tonight. We're done with this tonight. Other shows that we cover and stuff we're dealing with from right now. We will be covering Dexter when that comes out in December and everything else. We'll be covering that show. We'll have a bunch of other shows that we'll be covering and everything else and all that good stuff. And all that. Had over 200 people up here rocking with me to Don and everything else. I truly appreciate y'all for rocking with me and everything else. I'm gonna let y'all go and everything else. Oh, what's that? What? I don't know what that means. Jessica. Oh, I don't know what you mean by that. What's that mean? I listen to every podcast. I don't know what that means. W. I don't get it and everything else and all that good stuff. I know. And I just don't get it and all that good stuff. And all that. Wow, he's so funny. He called and hung up. He's so right. You know, people are into what they're into and everything else. That's what it is and all that good. All right, let me get up out of here, man. All right, if you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across the realm, and of course, subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace.